Hey everyone, welcome back. I've got something really exciting to share with you today. Something that could literally change the future for millions of immigrants living in the United States. You've probably already seen the headlines or maybe caught whispers online. But trust me, what's happening right now between Trump and USCIS is something no one expected. And the best part? For once, it's good news. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Good news? From USCIS? That's rare. And you're right. For years, we've all been used to hearing about stricter rules, backlogs, delays, and endless paperwork. But this time things are different. Something big is shifting, and it's all in favor of immigrants. Here's the thing. The announcement that just came out isn't some small policy tweak or technical update buried in government language. No, this is something that could directly affect how millions of people, maybe even you or someone you love, live, work, and plan their future in America. I've been going through the details, and let me tell you, when I saw what USCIS just confirmed alongside Trump's latest statement, I was shocked because for the first time in a long time, it feels like the system is finally starting to recognize how much immigrants contribute, and that's a huge deal. Whether you're waiting on a green card, trying to renew your work permit, or hoping to reunite with your family, what's happening right now could open new doors that we haven't seen in years. And don't worry, I'm going to break it all down for you step by step so you'll understand exactly what this means and how it could benefit you. But before we dive into all that, do me a quick favor. If you're as excited as I am to finally hear some positive immigration news, hit that like button right now. It really helps more people see this update and join our community of immigrants who stay informed and support each other. Now, let's get into it, because this announcement might just be the turning point we've all been waiting for. All right, so let's jump straight into it, because I know you've been waiting to hear exactly what this new announcement means and how it could affect you. The news coming from USCIS and former President Trump's camp has already started to stir up conversations everywhere, from immigration lawyers to community centers to social media groups. And honestly, I can see why. For so long, immigrants have felt like they're at the back of the line, always waiting for change that never really comes. But now, for the first time in a while, we're seeing an actual sign of hope, real, practical changes that could make life just a little bit easier. So here's what's going on. USCIS has rolled out a series of internal updates that are designed to speed up application processing, simplify renewals, and reduce the insane backlog that's been building for years. If you've ever waited months, or even years, for your paperwork to move forward, you know exactly how frustrating that can be. Imagine sending off your application, checking your case status every week, and then nothing, just silence. But with these new measures, the agency is promising faster response times, clearer communication, and most importantly, a more human approach to handling immigrant cases. Now, here's where it gets interesting: Trump's involvement. During his recent statements, he actually acknowledged the need for fairer, more efficient immigration processing. I know, that might sound surprising, especially considering his past immigration policies. But it looks like his current approach is leaning more toward reforming the system itself rather than punishing the people stuck in it. And that's what's giving so many immigrants renewed hope right now. From what's being discussed, there's talk about expanding work permit eligibility, reevaluating visa quotas, and even introducing new pathways for families who've been separated for years to reunite faster. It's not just about temporary relief, it's about long-term stability. You know how many families are living in limbo right now, unsure if they can stay, unsure if their next renewal will go through, or if their petition will ever get approved? These updates could change that. And honestly, this feels personal to so many of us. Because when we talk about immigration, we are not just talking about forms, policies, and case numbers. We're talking about real people, moms, dads, kids, grandparents, all just trying to build a better life. It's easy for politicians to talk about immigration reform in abstract terms. But for you, for me, for all of us, it's about everyday life. It's about whether you can go to work without worrying, whether you can book a flight to visit family, or whether your child's future will be secure here in the US. One of the most promising parts of this whole thing is that USCIS is focusing on cutting the red tape that's been slowing everything down. They're improving digital systems, reducing interview requirements for straightforward renewals, and hiring more staff to deal with the overwhelming number of pending cases. Basically, they're admitting what we've known all along. The system was overloaded, and it needed a serious upgrade. Now, I'm not saying this will fix everything overnight. Let's be real, it's the government we're talking about, so things take time. But even small, meaningful changes can make a world of difference when you're the one waiting. Imagine getting your work authorization renewed in a few weeks instead of several months. Imagine being able to track your case in real time and actually see updates that make sense. That's the kind of progress we are finally starting to see hints of. Another huge part of this announcement is the shift in tone. USCIS officials have publicly said they're committed to being more transparent and immigrant-friendly. That might sound like just another press statement, but for anyone who's ever dealt with confusing forms or unclear decisions, that promise means a lot. It means we might finally be heading toward a system where immigrants are treated with respect, not suspicion. Trump's comments about the role immigrants play in strengthening the U.S. economy have also sparked optimism. He specifically mentioned that hardworking immigrants help drive business, fill critical job gaps, and support local communities. And when you think about it, it's true. Immigrants are the backbone of so many industries across America. From healthcare and construction to education and technology, they're keeping the country running every single day. Now, I know some people might still be skeptical, like, is this just talk? And honestly, that's a fair question. We've heard big promises before, and not all of them came true. But this time, we are already seeing signs of action. USCIS has started implementing new training for officers to ensure more consistent and fair decision-making. They're expanding online self-service tools so people can handle simple issues without waiting months for a mailed response. And they're exploring ways to speed up family reunification for certain visa categories that have been backlogged for ages. If you've ever felt invisible in this process, this is the first time in a while that it feels like someone's actually listening. And that's powerful. Because when immigrants feel supported, they can focus on contributing, on working hard, on building their lives. And that's good for everyone. I was reading through a few community posts earlier, and one comment really stuck with me. Someone said, "It's not just about faster paperwork, it's about finally feeling seen." And that's exactly it. These updates are giving people hope that the system might finally start working for them instead of against them. Now, if you've been through the immigration process, you know how emotional it can be. Every form, every interview, every waiting period. It's not just administrative. It's personal. It's about your future, your family, your dreams. So when we get news like this, real, positive movement from USCIS, it's more than just policy talk. It's a sign that maybe, just maybe, the next few years could look a little brighter. And if you're sitting there wondering, does this apply to me? Hang tight. Over the next few weeks, USCIS is expected to release detailed guidance explaining who qualifies for the new measures and how to take advantage of them. So it's really important to stay tuned, stay informed, and make sure you don't miss any updates that could benefit you. That's why being part of this community matters. When one of us learns something new, we share it. We help each other. That's what keeps everyone one step ahead. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because I'll be covering every new detail the moment it's confirmed. And hey, if you're watching this and thinking of someone who's been struggling with their paperwork or worried about their status, share this video with them. Seriously, it could make their day just to know there's hope on the horizon. Sometimes just hearing that change is possible can lift a huge weight off someone's shoulders. I also want to remind you that no matter what happens next, you're not alone in this. There are millions of immigrants across the country who are going through the same process, facing the same challenges, and hoping for the same outcomes. And if we keep pushing for fairness, transparency, and compassion, we can keep this momentum going. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be all smooth sailing. There will still be hurdles, delays, and confusing updates here and there. But what's different this time is that for once, we are moving in the right direction. The tone from USCIS and Trump's latest statement shows that they're finally recognizing how vital immigrants are to America's success. And that recognition? It's been a long time coming. So as more information comes out, I'll be right here breaking it all down in plain English. No legal jargon, no political spin, just the facts that matter to you and your family. My goal is to help you feel informed, prepared, and hopeful about what's ahead. And if you've made it this far into the video, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this conversation. You're the reason this channel exists. We've built such an amazing community of people who support one another, and that's something I'm really proud of. Before we wrap up, don't forget, hit that like button if this news gave you a bit of hope today. It really helps more people see this update and join our growing community of immigrants who refuse to give up on their dreams. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you never miss the next big update from USCIS or any major policy change that could affect your future. All right, that's it for now, but trust me, this is just the beginning. The next few months are going to be very interesting. So stay positive, stay informed, and keep believing in the power of change. Because finally, it feels like that change might actually be on the way.